Over the past 3 months, she had done battle with so much grime, so much greasy muck, she might as well be a scouring pad herself. A sharp-edged warrior against a world of sticky stir-fry grease. She plucked one long-stemmed ladle out of the water-filled sink and spun around, slashing the air as if it were a sword in her yellow, rubber-clad hands, and found herself staring right into the face of her bug-eyed boss, the illustrious owner of Panda Kong, Eastern Michigan University's only on-campus Chinese restaurant, where Riddhi and she spent 4 evenings every week. Of course he would make his entry at this precise moment, because Mili could never ever do anything remotely mental without being caught. Egghead contorted his bitter medicine face even more than usual and threw her some eye darts. She tried smiling at him in a fashion that suggested flailing utensils while scrubbing them gave them that extra shine. But he turned away, unamused, and left the already freezing kitchen 10 degrees cooler with his disapproval. She stuck out her tongue at his retreating head and did a little shoulder wiggle to shake off the chill. L.O.L. Mili's roommate Riddhi squeezed past Egghead into the kitchen, another tower of dishes teetering precariously in her arms. Riddhi thought all conversation was essentially an exercise in text messaging. O.M.G. Did you see his face? She dumped the dishes into the sink Mili had just about emptied. You mean the expression that told me exactly how desperately he wants someone to answer the help wanted sign on the door so that he can get rid of the crazy Indian girl? No way. Egghead would never let you go. He'd handcuff himself to you if he could. You work too hard. If anything, he's wondering how to take that sign down so he can get you to do even more work. Mili groaned from the depths of her soul. Riddhi grinned. Girl, how will you ever keep a secret from me with that expressive face? Mili's heartbeat sped up. She turned on the handspray and started to hose the muck off a giant wok. Did you hear from him? Riddhi's face got instantly dopey. One mention of him, and Mili could picture the sweeping romantic Bollywood number swirling inside Riddhi's head, dancing choruses and all. Riddhi lived on planet Bollywood, along with her friends, action, emotion, and romance. Well, Riddhi threw one surreptitious glance over her shoulder, as if Daddy G's spies might be hiding in the Panda Kong kitchen at 11 p.m. Ravi is totally freaked out after I told him Daddy was trying to set me up with Mera Uncle's doctor son. He doesn't want to take any chances. He thinks we should... Egghead decided to demonstrate Mili's impeccable timing once again and walked in just as Mili put the pot down and turned to Riddhi for the rest of the drama. I lock up outside. You think dishes get done sometime tonight? He snapped, with complete disregard for the Mount Everest of gleaming dishes on the draining board, not to mention the fact that he was interrupting a conversation. Riddhi glowered at him. Mili picked up a pan and directed her anger at it instead. For all the glamorous fantasies Mili had harbored about America, none had involved being buried in dirty dishes in a foul-smelling kitchen or being sucked into a supporting role in a full-on film-style elopement. When she had first met Riddhi, Mili had wondered how she was ever going to carry out a conversation with her. Riddhi had spoken only in monosyllables. But the disadvantage of starting in the spring semester was that the campus was as isolated as a crematorium at midnight, and Mili desperately needed a roommate. And a deathly silent one who looked ready to throw herself off a bridge was better than none at all. There was no way Mili could afford the $500 rent out of the $600 she made as a grad assistant. The $8 an hour she made for scrubbing the life out of these pans was reserved strictly for sending home to Nani. Suddenly, after 2 weeks of skulking around the apartment while Mili attempted desperately to push food and cheery conversation in her direction, Mili's sad sack roomie had magically blossomed into Ms. Bubbly herself, thanks to a phone call from the hero of her story, Ravi.